I'm Julio Capo, and let's queer up the USA view. HRC ends ties with weapons makers after LGBTQ plus activist pressure. The Human Rights Campaign has cut financial ties with defense contractors Northrop Grumman and RTX, formerly Raytheon, following a 2-year campaign led by queer and trans activists. According to a joint statement from the Gender Liberation Movement and Adala Justice Project, groups like ACT UP New York, Writers Against the War on Gaza, and former HRC employees organized the effort. It said, quote, "These are tools of state-sanctioned destruction and death, not a human rights or equality," end quote. Rand J., a queer Palestinian organizer with Adala, called the decision a huge win, saying, quote, "We won't allow our history, identities, and struggles as queer people to be commodified to buttress institutions upholding the genocidal war machine," end quote. HRC confirmed to them, the publication them, that it no longer has sponsorships with either company. Activists continue to call on HRC and other LGBTQ plus organizations to divest from weapons manufacturers permanently and to publicly call for an immediate arms embargo on Israel. I find there's so much there's a lot of beauty in this story, which is such an odd thing to say about things that are talking about weapons and war, and the support of them, because it's to me, it's solidarity. What the story is largely about is a story about solidarity and the remembering the kind of queer and radical origins of our movement, which is largely to imagine, right, that violence against anyone is violence against all of us, right? To think about the very notion of like Black feminist and lesbian thought, that none of us are free until all of us are free. And this is very much a story about that, right? Like that to imagine any form of violence that could happen to any one of us as being okay because it's happening over there is not okay, right? That is that we have to understand solidarity movements. And I think this is really what this is calling for. And one of the HRC has a really checkered history, and that is
that's a nice way to put it.
That's right, thank you. Especially anti-trans, right? And being a very white organization that largely supported white women and men, pushing HRC further to inclusivity and progress, and is important to do. We have to hold them accountable just the same. And it sounds like this is a story suggesting some of that kind of more radical politics.
It also talked to me about activism. And how important it is in our community to have people that are willing to dig and to find out, because we've done it through the AIDS crisis. And we found who were our allies and our foes. And we need to keep doing this in a very impactful way. This is you going to the root of the problem.